So you're curious about penetration testing, right? You want to get your hands dirty with a real practical certification? Well, the eJPT is honestly one of the best places to start. Today, we're going to break down exactly what it is, how you can get it, and why it just might be the perfect first step for your career in security. In the world of offensive security, it's not really about what's in your head. It's about what you can do with your hands. So the big question for anyone trying to break in is pretty simple. How do you prove you've got the skills to actually get the job done? And that's where the eJPT comes in. This cert from Security is all about practical ability, not just memorizing theory. It drops you right into a simulated lab environment to prove you can handle the kind of tasks a junior pen tester would face on any given day. Okay, but there are a lot of entry-level certs out there. So what makes the eJPT so different? Let's really dig into what makes it such a strong choice, especially for beginners. What really stands out is just how learner-focused this thing is. First off, it's practical and open book. Think about that. Real-world pen testers use Google, they use their notes, and this exam actually lets you do the same. It's a true test of skill, not memory. Plus, there's no guesswork. They publish the objectives so you know exactly what to study. And you get your results in hours, not weeks. No waiting around anxiously. It's all just perfectly integrated with INE's training to guide you every step of the way. Feeling inspired? Good. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how you actually get this thing. What are the practical steps? And here's the great news. There are no formal prerequisites. Seriously, this is built from the ground up for beginners. That said, if you've got some basic knowledge of networking, things like IP addresses and common services, and you're comfortable with Linux and Windows, you're going to have a major head start. All right, let's talk money. What's this going to cost you? The most common package is $249. And for that, you don't just get the exam voucher. You also get 3 whole months of access to INE's fundamentals training. It's a pretty sweet deal. Okay, a few important details you've got to know. You will need an active INE subscription to sit the exam, and your voucher is good for 180 days, so you've got plenty of time. But here's the kicker, and this is huge. It includes 1 free retake. That's a fantastic safety net, right? So with that covered, how should you actually use those 180 days? Well, check out this roadmap. It's a flexible 8 to 12-week plan that'll take you from 0 to totally exam ready. You'll kick things off with the basics, getting your foundations right. Then you dive into the core skills, reconnaissance, enumeration, and then the fun stuff, exploitation. Later on, you get into post-exploitation, what you do after you gain access, including a super important skill called pivoting. And finally, you wrap it all up with a focused review to make sure you're ready to go. Okay. You've put in the work, you've studied hard. Now let's talk about game day. What does the exam actually look like when you sit down to take it? The format is a totally hands-on lab. You'll begin a network, doing your thing, and answering multiple choice questions based on what you find. And get this, you have a full 48 hours to complete it. 48 hours! And it's completely open book. This whole thing is designed to test your problem-solving skills, not your ability to handle stress. Now, to make sure you're studying smart, not just hard, you gotta pay attention to these domain weightings. As you can see, host and network penetration testing is the big one, making up 35% of the exam. So that's where you really need to be solid. Use these percentages to guide your study sessions and your final review. Here's probably one of the best pieces of advice I've seen for this exam. Look, during a 48-hour exam, it's easy to get lost or stressed. Creating your own playbook, your own personal checklist of commands and procedures, that's what keeps you on track. It makes sure you're methodical and don't miss anything crucial when the pressure's on. Okay, so let's fast forward. You passed. Congratulations. Now what? What does this actually do for your career? Let's talk about the payoff. The eJPT isn't just a piece of paper. It proves you can do the job. It shows hiring managers you can handle the real-world tasks of a junior pen tester. Everything from structured recon to exploiting common vulnerabilities and, maybe most importantly, documenting your findings clearly. And yeah, what about the money? In the US, you're looking at a salary somewhere between $59,000 and $74,000 for a junior role. Think about that. For a cert that costs less than $300, that is a serious return on your investment. But look, the cert on its own is just one piece of the puzzle. To really make yourself stand out, you've got to leverage it. So pair it with something like Security Plus to show you've got the fundamentals down. Start building a portfolio of lab reports. Add that credential to your LinkedIn and resume. And get involved. Network in security communities and play some capture the flags. We've laid it all out for you: the what, the why, and the how. The eJPT gives you a clear, practical, and really accessible path into the world of ethical hacking. You've got the roadmap, so the only real question left is, when are you going to start?